Good evening, everybody. You've all been listening to the medical angle of so many things, and now I'd like to give you a mental health perspective of sexual dysfunctions, and that we especially ask for vaginismus. But this is going to be sort of a general way of looking at women's sexual dysfunctions. But yeah, a bit of extra importance given to vaginismus. I loved Dr. Nilima's talk, by the way. That was wonderful. Yeah, so me, I'm not a sexologist, I'm not a sexual medicine person, I'm from the mental health background. I've worked for many years as a lactation consultant. That is the only experience I have working alongside doctors. And currently I practice as a sexuality health educator. I'm also a content creator. Post most of my content on Instagram. Yeah, so I ventured into the field of sexuality health education through breastfeeding awareness campaigns and programs, breast milk donation drives, etc. that we did in our support group back in Coimbatore. We have an NGO called Coimbatore Parenting Network. We operate for the past 7 years. We deal with breastfeeding awareness programs, gentle parenting classes, menstrual health awareness, usage of menstrual cups and other sustainable options. We talk a lot about attachment parenting, which includes baby wearing and such concepts, co-sleeping and all of that. And this is what led me to the field of sexuality health education. And the first ever time I got to know about vaginismus was through our support group meetings where mothers used to share that they got pregnant via IUI or IVF because they had vaginismus. So that was the first time I'm getting to know about this concept, I think 8 years ago during our support group meetings. And I used to feel sad for them. But now I know how common it is. So I thought it was very uncommon, but nowadays, yes, like Dr. Nilma said, 7 out of 10. So it's pretty common. So for me, it's all about understanding the cause of these sexual dysfunctions. And many of these problems can be led back into childhood, what happened during puberty, what happened during adolescence. Because let me tell you very honestly, a lot of these sexual dysfunctions were dealt with just inner child healing classes. With just inner child healing. So, we just refer these people to, so I don't do inner child healing, there's another person whom I refer to. So, with her classes, most of these issues in the sense, issues that were told that they needed surgery. And we used to get really bad feedbacks actually in the support group meetings that, surgery was suggested. Women were asked to just relax, you'll be fine, have some wine, you'll be fine. Or maybe you're not with the right partner. So these kind of suggestions were given, it seems. So many issues were sorted with just going back to childhood, addressing their past, abuse history or trauma history. Yeah, so we need to understand what women go through as young girls in our society. The body shaming that we go through, the period shaming that we go through, and the harassment and the molestation and the groping and all those things that happen just because we have a female body makes us hate our body. Right, so when you hate your body, how will you become a very sexually confident person all of a sudden, right? So if we go back and then address these root cause issues, these women can actually blossom into sexually confident people. So this just relax will not work. We get to hear just relax a lot, that the care provider told you need to relax. Because if they are extremely dysregulated from a nervous system point of view, if they are always in their fight or flight, freeze mode and their nervous system is very dysregulated, just asking them to relax will not work. So we need to understand things from a trauma perspective, and I highly recommend all of you work alongside trauma-informed psychologists and psychotherapists, or even trauma-informed yoga practitioners for that matter, trauma-informed pelvic floor physiotherapists, so that they can address things from a trauma point of view. Because me coming from the psychology background, I know even psychologists who don't understand the trauma background. Because we don't learn about it a lot, just like medical professionals don't learn about everything in their their medical school or medical textbooks, we also don't learn about everything. Yeah, another interesting observation that I have made in the last 7-8 years of going through these adult sexuality workshops and female sexual health oriented workshops is the concept of the feminine and masculine. So you've all seen, the yin and yang sign, the Shiva and Shakti. We've all seen this feminine masculine concept. And you all know that we all have feminine and masculine in all of us, no? Yeah? So let's say the ancient tantric practice or whatever, they say that there is feminine, masculine in everybody. So just making women understand this concept through, not yin and yang, but through certain words, certain emotions, certain concepts that they understand. Let's say this side talks about the feminine energy and that side talks about the masculine energy. So feminine is mostly the inward energy and masculine is mostly the outward energy. This has nothing to do with gender, no? So Swati can be a combination of 6-7 from the natural feminine and 7-8 from the natural masculine. That can be Swati. Pallavi can be a combination of 5 from here and 10 from there. So all of us are a combination of certain feminine qualities, certain masculine qualities. Now what happens is when there is a imbalance, when there is too much of masculine or too much of feminine, it can cause some kind of imbalance. So we see a lot of women, especially when they've had traumatic childhoods, they don't have connection with the strong male role model. So that has also created a lot of disconnect with their own feminine, and they put on this masculine shield, Or let's say, for example, they have had no father, absent father syndrome. Father was not present at all during their childhood. So they become the father figure in the family. So they suddenly take on the masculine role in the family. So which actually disconnects them from their feminine. Yeah. So when you actually make them understand that there is this feminine inside you, and you can feel safe to go access that feminine. And when they take off that masculine shield, they're able to get that connect back into their feminine, and a lot of these issues, mental health issues, sexual problems, everything just it's vanishing away. I'm not exaggerating. I've seen women soften into their feminine after women's retreats, after adult sexual health, female sexual health workshops, when we just discuss this. This is the only concept. Just make them understand this yin and yang theory, this feminine masculine polarity, and it's almost like a bulb, moment for them. Oh my God, yeah. Why do I feel I always have to be in this go mode all the time? I have to soften into my flow mode. Again, feminine is not just wearing sari and bindi and all that. It's going inward. It's about understanding your innermost voice. What is your intuition telling you? Your sensitivity, the kindness that you feel towards something. All that is feminine. Yeah. So it's not man-woman thing. It's not a gender thing, but it's just an energy thing. Okay. So a lot of women, when they stop being in their go mode, in their get it done masculine mode, and they soften into that feminine mode, they're able to connect to their body in a better way. And they're able to be even better sexual beings that way. Yeah? Yes, so courses, classes, retreats that focus on embodying the feminine can actually work for sexual dysfunctions. Yes, so a lot of people talked about the somatic approach here, especially ma'am there, I forgot her name, yeah. So I'm not going back there again. So understanding what somatic intelligence is all about and understanding a bit of somatic psychology will also help deal with sexual issues. So a lot of alternate modalities that participants in my workshop have reached across to and then have found help with where these kind of things, chakra healing has helped them a lot, because when they focus on the second chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra, the womb chakra, they're able to resolve a lot of these sexual issues, fertility issues, etc. So most of the answers are there in our yogic sciences itself. Yeah, and hypnotherapy, NLP, breath work, craniosacral body work, and so many movement therapy, all these things have helped clients. So alternate modalities can also be explored. And certain things I also understood from my lactation counseling practice. Now there is no huge evidence and all that I can use to support my claims here, but it's interesting things that I figured out. When mothers come with breastfeeding difficulties, obviously it's not just about the latch and the position, because sometimes everything will be fine and still breastfeeding will not be working out sometimes. So those kind of situations I used to wonder, why is it not working? The mother is doing everything fine, there's a lot of milk supply, the baby doesn't want to drink properly. The baby is not latching properly. So then, over a period of time in the practice, I also realized that there can be other issues that are affecting breastfeeding, and that's when I came across Yasmin's work. Yasmin is a lactation consultant based out of Mumbai, and about how tongue ties can actually affect breastfeeding. So again, it's a very nascent field, yeah. So different kinds of tongue ties and how it can affect the quality of the baby's latch on the breast. So yeah, we fix. So again, I want to learn a lot from these two neonatologists and their work related to tongue ties, Dr. Jack Newman, Canada, and Dr. Rajiv Agarwal in the US. So got to learn more about it, and then also from Dr. Bobby Gehiri, who's an ENT surgeon who's world renowned for his work related to tongue ties. So after resolving tongue tie issues, we've seen the latch quality getting better, feeding getting painless, better milk drainage, better weight gain for the baby. Suddenly baby's sleep is improving, no colic, gas, better bowel movements, no tension in the neck for the baby. The baby is able to move his body freely, better posture during skin to skin, otherwise the baby will be like a boat. It can't even be relaxed fully on the care provider's body. But suddenly after the tongue tie surgery is done, these babies are all fine. So it used to be really fascinating. Now that, okay, just a disclaimer, not all breastfeeding issues are resolved with tongue tie surgeries. There are other issues also that can cause breastfeeding difficulties. Yeah, but this led me to explore support groups where adults were living with tongue ties. So I got into this support group which had more than 50,000 adults who had tongue ties, and with what all they were discussing, I figured out that many of them had pelvic floor dysfunctions, posture issues, sleep apnea related issues, breathing issues, and a lot of women were reporting vaginismus on these support groups. That was pretty eye-opening to me. And whenever a mother comes with their baby having a tongue tie issue, I used to ask her also, can you show me your tongue? Just for curiosity's sake, I used to ask them. And many of them had. So now again, disclaimer, not everybody has a tongue tie if they have a vaginismus, but just observations I just, made. So yeah, so this brought me to how important is the role of the fascia in the body, and this also made me understand how complicated the fascia can be. The tongue is there and it's extending till the toe. So the entire body is connected. We just think of tongue being inside the mouth, but then it's connected throughout the body. So one correction here is able to resolve so many other issues. So a lot of these people with tight frenulums, they end up with a lot of midline disorders, and correction is actually helping a lot of these people. I'm not telling all of you go correct your clients' tongue ties, but this is just to make you understand that we need to see the body without siloing it, without, just see it fully as a wholesome unit where addressing something can actually resolve something else somewhere else which you might have thought was completely unrelated. Yeah. So many of my clients have come up with sexual dysfunctions. They've had tongue ties somehow or the other. Yes. So just understanding that there is a physical component, psychological component, emotional component, spiritual component when it comes to healing your clients is important. And I also believe healing doesn't happen because of the care provider or the consultant or the psychologist. It happens when you're also healing inside. Because a lot of care providers, they themselves are very traumatized. Yeah? Because how many of you doctors have a balanced, regulated nervous system? We need to ask ourselves. Or psychologists, me, do I have a regulated nervous system? Am I always in my fight, flight, freeze mode? Right? So how will I be able to guide somebody else into healing when I myself haven't healed? Or is not in my healing journey at least. You can't be 100% healed. Yeah, so I do it through my sexuality health workshops. because I believe not everybody needs one-on-one. Very serious issues, yes, they need, but not everybody. Many people are happy with just information and support. And this is one reason why I focus on sex education classes to parents. So I don't take classes to children and teenagers. I focus sex education classes, mainly comprehensive sexuality health education classes to parents. And these are all the subjects that we deal with when we take classes to parents. Because yeah, we live in a society which thinks sex education is only about sex, no? Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much.
Swati, that was a very nice presentation, and I liked how you brought the yin and yang. In my head, I could think of creative ways to work more with the clients. So when you get a client with, issues, how do you normally refer them, or do you try to, work with them as well?
I don't practice. I don't do one-on-ones at all.
Okay.
I only take these workshops. Because I told many people, just the information alone is enough for them. They're going and working on themselves by their own. Their body has the innate capacity to heal and repair. So as a practitioner, if I can just give them a lot of information, a lot of support, and if I can connect them with a community of people who are going through the same exact thing, that is enough for a lot of women to start off with their healing process.
Okay, I'm glad you're doing a lot of psychoeducation. Congrats.
How about workshop for newly married? You said that parents. I understand targeting teenage in our society maybe. Of course, that should be the ideal thing. How about workshop for newly married?
I have workshops for adult intimacy also.
I mean,
Anybody can come. Newly married, 50 ವರ್ಷ ಆನಾலும் they can come after marriage, whenever they want.
Good.
Yeah. Again, my job is just to give them information so that they can start working on their relationship. And then I also bridge them to professionals. I tell them, okay, if all these things are not working, then if you need one-on-one coaching and counseling, then these are the people to reach out to.
So your workshops are only online, not like
online, offline. Yesterday I had one in Trichy also.
Very good.
Thank you.
Just a small thing. So thank you so much, Swati, for bringing in the fact that tongue is also related to sexual dysfunctions. I think at least I have never thought of that, and so I'm not from a clinical background, but yes, researching on the topic since last 2 years and now running a small startup around this. So you very rightly said that only psychoeducation can actually solve a lot of problems, and that's what we see with our patients also. 40% of the patients, just 2 sessions or 2 consultations with a sex therapist or a psychoeducation session, they actually work a lot. They come back with the feedback that now we know ourselves better, we know our relationships better. So that's true that every case cannot be seen as a sexual dysfunction case. I think most of them need psychoeducation, and especially in a country where we live, the kind of environment we've had, I mean, our age probably, touch wood, it's good that now coming generations have people like us to educate them. But yes, we were not that, I would say, fortunate. So those generations now, if we can educate them, it will solve half of their problems. So very right. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So again, I request the chairperson to facilitate the speaker. Thank you. I request the speaker to facilitate.